I genuinely love playing this game.
WoW doesn't necessarily take itself too seriously. That kind of inspired me to get into digital art.
You find a character that's your comfort, then being able to cosplay them, it's like therapy. My hunter pet. It's funny because she likes when I'm in cosplay, the other one does not. This one's like, okay, I guess we're taking pictures and mommy's dressed weird. You want mommy to make you some armor? Yeah. My name's Kira and I am a cosplayer and gamer. When did I realize I could do this as a full-time job? I think it was when I was working at Mac, and suddenly the money I was making from cosplay was more than I made at Mac, and I was like, I'm in pain. I think I can leave and just do this. And that was scary. It's really cool that it's still my job, you know? To just, I don't know, be this person. I don't know.
You get paid to be you.
It's really weird.
You get
like,
paid to be you being something else.
Exactly. I'm not even me. They're like, oh man, she's Sylvanas today. I love it. Here's $10. Like, it's really, you don't realize how crazy it is until it's your life and you kind of sit there and you're like, what am I doing? This is Cinder Arts' design of a loon that my friend Sylvan started and I finished. So I did like all this beading, and of course, like, I don't know what I'm doing. Many hot glue burns were happened here because this is all hot glued. And then like making the horns and the whole headpiece. In the original design, a loon has really big horns, but I've done like cosplays with big horns and it's cumbersome, and I wanted a loon to be comfortable, like a comfy one I can wear. So I had to make them a little bit smaller and then putting like all the random knickknacks on it. And then these are all hand placed rhinestones I did on the train that you never see. Nobody takes pictures of the back of my costume. Why did I work so hard on it? I don't know. So when I was a kid, my parents owned an arcade. And one of the prizes in this arcade was the Burning Crusade expansion. And my dad had it like behind the counter up on one of the shelves. And I would sneak around the counter to go look at the game case because I thought the elves on it were so cool. I was like obsessed. So I started cosplaying World of Warcraft right before BFA, where some of my friends had started doing like World of Warcraft armor, and I was fascinated by it. So they made my first one, and I became really obsessed with like being this character and this world, and I kind of got more invested, and it kind of accumulated from there into this. The special thing about cosplay, and I've been cosplaying for 16 years, and I've cosplayed a variety of different medias. It's like this magical experience you get to have because these are things that should not exist. Like, I shouldn't have, you know, Arthas and Sylvanas sitting behind. Like, those aren't real. But cosplay, it's real, and it's so real you're that character, and you're portraying them, and you can do whatever you want with them. You know, you can take their story, you can mess with it, and be like, all right, this is my interpretation. And I feel like it's an experience that everybody should have, because it's so cool to take something that's not real and be that moment. Bringing it into the real world is so exciting because it's like, you know, Frostmourne and Arthas are like these big, iconic characters that are larger than life. And it's taking that iconic character that everybody loves and being like, well, now I'm it. And I'm standing here in front of you. And it's really cool because people get so excited, and then I get excited because I'm like, look at this, we're having this interaction we shouldn't be having right now, but we're having it, and it's really cool, you know? It's that beautiful making fantasy reality that we all kind of desire and hope for in life. And doing those cosplays are like this beautiful way of doing it. This is part of Sally Whitemane. These are her like hand pieces. So I have her shoulders done, and I have her like main body piece done. I was like, I don't really want to pattern her hand piece, so I like zoomed in and made a little pattern. And like for me, I have sensory issues with my hands, so I can't wear fingered gloves. So all of my cosplay gloves are actually cut off at the fingers. So even though Whitemane has claws, mine won't. So they'll fit on my hand like that when they're all done. They're small, but they, you know, every little detail kind of adds up. So I started having mobility issues with my legs specifically. End of last year, early this year. We're not entirely sure why it's happening, but I do lose feeling in my legs. I'm in pain almost every day with my legs. And that makes wearing armor very difficult because it's not just cloth cosplays, it's wearing these entire big sets. With my cosplays, I started working with people or my own and figuring out how we can still make them manageable without being impossible anymore. So a lot of different like leg pieces have enough space for me to put bracers on, or I will carry around a staff. Thankfully, all my friends are very kind about it too, so they're very helpful, like, in finding these creative ways to still be able to cosplay and do these crazy things, but within my own limitations. My friend Shadowken, he and I started working together to design a lot of my prop work. Props can be very difficult for me because I was talking about I have tendinitis. So carving into like insulation foam can be very difficult. And it's been a really fun joy to like get to know him and work together and be like, all right, what can we do next? So this is, Aluna is my favorite prop in World of War, like my favorite weapon in World of Warcraft. And getting to make this staff and hold it in my hands is probably my favorite thing in the entire world. Everything about it was so fun, and this is like the prop I started working with Shadowken on, so I'm like sentimental to it. And we are currently working on a version of the sweat will talk when I shake it, like Aluna talks in the game. So I'm really excited there will be an Aluna 2.0 that is going to be so cool. So these are also by Shadowken, and he designed these as like a little surprise for me. These are to match my Sylvanas and Jaina cosplays. This is a way to have a prop that looks like it belongs with Sylvanas, but it's also like functional as a mobility device. And then this one is for Jaina. So like there's a lot of days, if I was at a convention for a few days, I'm out for a few, like I can't move at all. And World of Warcraft is this great thing that I'm like, can't move my legs in real life, but in the game, I can run, I can fly on some dragons, like I feel good. And it's not a solo game. You know, you're in there with friends or strangers and just like, you feel a part of the world when you can't be, when you feel very enclosed and like sorry for yourself. So, like, I get very upset and emotional when I'm like, oh, like, I can't go out today. Like, I feel really tired and sick and like, my legs hurt and everything hurts and I'm sad, but like, World of Warcraft is that beautiful game that it gives you what you can't do in real life in a different way. You find a character that's your comfort, and then being able to cosplay them and their different struggles and journey, you're like, oh, this is almost like mirroring me, and almost helping you to work through it too, because you're not working through it as yourself, you're working through it as another person. It's like therapy. So there's a bunch of other fun World of Warcraft things in here. There's some wigs, some other stored armor, and then some cloth pieces. This one in particular is really sentimental because this is the Warcraft movie High Elf Delegate dress. It was only shown in the movie for like 30 seconds, maybe a minute, but this was my dream dress. I have dreamt about this dress for years, and my fans crowdfunded it for me to get it made for me, and it's very, I love this. I'm so sentimental to it because it was so sweet of them to do, to make one of my dreams come true. You know, I didn't really think, you know, 16 years down the line, my job would be like, being a cosplayer, like, yeah, like I'm gonna dress up as a blood elf today. Everyone's like, yeah, cool, yay, you know? I got really lucky to now have cosplay as a job because it works with me. I look around and I'm like, wow, this was 16 years of really just loving cosplay and loving the things that I did. Like I showed you, I have an entire closet of Genshin Impact cosplay as like a psychopath, you know? I really hope everybody that loves something, whether it be World of Warcraft, whether it be another game, another franchise, like I really hope you take the time to cosplay from it. Whether it's a casual cosplay, you just put on a wig and makeup, like I really hope people take that leap because it's like this special, magical moment that I really hope everybody else gets to have, because I get to have it every single day, and it's so important to just have fun. I love you. She's gonna fall asleep.